So this is a willow basket that I made, and this is the material that I harvested for it. I harvested it from the wash in Santa Cruz, and I soaked it in water for about a couple weeks after drying it out before that. And here I just started making the basket. First I had to pick out 6 spokes to start with, and here I'm just testing the flexibility, making sure they're not too thick and not too thin, and just testing those out and choosing the right ones for my basket. So once I chose them, I laid 3 on top of the other 3 in a cross sort of structure, and made sure they're all even and straight. And then I took a weaver, just a small, very thin weaver, and wrapped all around those 6. And here I'm wrapping around all 6 of them. I'm just trying to get nice and tight to have a nice base to start with. And this is the starting point of the basket. And I reached a stopping point, so I put the basket back in the water to soak, and that way it will still stay flexible. And here I am started doing the actual weaving, and here I started doing 2 under 2 was the weaving pattern, and this is to basically start to spread out the spokes a little bit and get them so I can eventually start to spread out so I can add more spokes and more weavers. I found it quite difficult at that stage to really spread them out well, but eventually it kind of spread out. And with this one, and here, unfortunately, I lost a lot of my footage, so this is kind of playing catch up, but basically with this one, I decided I needed to harvest a little more basket material than I originally harvested. So I'm just cleaning up the basket material, taking the leaves off, and I'm going to let that dry so that I can sort it. And I harvested some dry dead material too, so I will put that soak in the water for about a week, and that will do me good for finishing up the basket. And I'm gonna experiment with that material because I usually only harvest it green. And just putting it back in the water before I continue with the rest of my basket. It has to be weighed down with the rock. So here I'm really started doing. I got a fair amount done before this, but I basically started doing the weaving pattern, which is majority of the basket, which is over one spoke, under another spoke, and this allowed me to really delve deeper into the basket making process, and I was able to really sink into it and get into more of a meditative mind state while doing this process. Something that really I had to do a lot during this process was really be very sensitive to the material. Even though it's been soaking in water for a very long time, it's still very can still break. And the willow is quite flexible. I've noticed, I think it's like, feels like it's the skin of the willow that really allows it to maintain its flexibility, but it still will break under enough pressure and compression. Um, a lot of this process I was really trying to focus on tucking the ends of the weavers in right, and also if you notice I have this string here, I ended up wanting to aid the shape of the basket a little better, so I tied those spokes almost like a drum, and it allowed me to kind of shape the basket a little more. And this is part of the basket making process that I really do enjoy and feels very interesting to me. It feels like um, and which is true, I'm creating an empty space, a vessel, and it's a very meditative feeling. Um, and I also I feel very like relaxed when I'm doing the basket weaving. It was a very nice way. I was usually working on this project at the end of the day, and it was very nice to end the day like that. The kind of felt like I was weaving together everything I've been reading and working on the day. And so, unfortunately, I was working on this quite a bit, but um, these clips are mostly from the last material that I had prepared. So I'll need to wait for the other material to be prepared. But overall, the basket making process has been very fun, um, and I've definitely learned a lot about choosing the right weaving material, because if the weaving material I found was too thick, it would break really easy or put too much stress on the spokes. But this basket, I've worked on this kind of basket before, but this time it feels a lot cleaner, and I've spent more time harvesting better basket material, and not just going for it at a grab. So this is a really cool project I've had a lot of fun with, and hopefully I'll get to finish this sometime soon. This will be to be continued.